Karen Reed and her team are expected back in court on Monday to learn exactly when she will face a new round of charges in the death of her police officer boyfriend. This comes after her 2-month trial ended in a mistrial on July 1st, following a deadlocked jury. Here with us to discuss, trial attorney and legal analyst Misty Marris. Misty, good morning. You know this case has captured the attention of the nation. I've been watching it so closely. So Reed's back in court on Monday, tomorrow. What can we expect?
So tomorrow is actually supposed to be what's called a status hearing. That's when there will be a schedule set forth for Reed's new trial. But before the court can actually get into a very, very typical status hearing, picking dates, discovery schedules, they're going to have to deal with a motion that was made by the defense. The defense claims that jurors actually, after the fact, they learned acquitted Karen Reed on 2 of the 3 charges they faced. Now, the judge declared a mistrial, and so she currently is facing all 3 of those charges, but the defense attorney is asking the court to dig into that to see if she was actually acquitted on those 2 charges and then to move forward accordingly. They say it's very unfair and against all of the principles of the justice system to move forward with this trial if there was in fact an acquittal.
I'm so curious to get your opinion on this because Reed's defense is saying that 5 jurors have come forward. They confirmed the jury reached a non-guilty verdict before the mistrial. Is that even possible, Misty?
It's kind of wild, Hannah, because obviously the jurors had sent a note. Remember, there were 3 times that the jurors came back and said that they were at an absolute deadlock, that they could not agree. What the defense is saying is that the court, at the time the mistrial was declared, didn't ask, are you deadlocked on all 3 charges? Are you deadlocked on 1 of the 3? Is there a determination on the others? That inquiry was never made. So the defense is now saying that they're learning this information, and obviously prosecutors are coming back, and this is all hearsay. These are not actual facts. So something that could happen is that the judge could actually conduct a hearing and poll the jurors on this question. Now, Hannah, something to really, really note, and this is what prosecutors focused on in their submission, you're not allowed to get into jury deliberations. You're not allowed as the court to ask the jury what they talked about in that jury room. So it's a predicament here about how to proceed moving forward.
It's so bizarre. I mean, the story just gets more and more bizarre. Reed is filing to have those charges thrown out, claiming a second trial amounts to double jeopardy. How valid is that argument?
It's not valid at this time because of that mistrial. A mistrial was declared. A mistrial just means this particular trial, the jury could not agree. It's a hung jury, but the case can move forward and charges can be brought again. Now, if there was in fact an acquittal on 2 of those 3 charges, then the 2 should be dismissed and moving forward only on the 1. But to say that the whole trial is thrown out really isn't valid at this juncture unless we do in fact find that the jurors did acquit Karen Reed on several of the charges.
Thank you for that clarification. Netflix is announcing they're making a docuseries on this very murder trial. Are there legal sticking points here when a case is still ongoing?
Well, absolutely, because there's going to be a lot of information that might be confidential. Are you going to have witnesses who are going to be a part of that Netflix docuseries? The Netflix docuseries itself adds even more attention and eyes on this case. How do you seat a jury when you already have just this intense interest nationwide, and now you're adding that on top of it? So with any high-profile case, you certainly are going to see those types of issues. But Hannah, I have a feeling this docuseries is going to be really, really popular. I mean, this case was like stranger than fiction.
Really, it's so, like I said, I keep using the term bizarre, and I can't stop watching and learning about this case. Very quickly, Misty, I have about 30 seconds, but Netflix has been sued in the past for documentaries. Could this open them to a potential lawsuit yet again?
It certainly could. It just depends on how they proceed and whether or not they're proceeding with all of their ducks in a row for the proper contractual obligations and all of that. But look, there's always a lot of scrutiny when it comes to a case, as you pointed out, that's ongoing.
And the world's watching. Misty Marris, thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you again, my friend.
Thank you.
Potential